Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are Brothers on Tennis. And folks, we have made it to our first Grand Slam tournament of 2022, the Australian Open. Yay! And Bryce, I tell you what, brother, I am. I, I, I don't even know where to start. All I'm going to say is that guy's name, I just don't even want it on my tongue right now. I don't want to talk about him. He done messed it up for me and for everybody. But I am at least happy that decisions were made. We have a draw and we can proceed with the tournament. Bryce, how are you feeling about Australian Open 2022?
I'm feeling the same way. And you know what's interesting is I guess I didn't recognize the distraction, the stress, the whatever his situation created had really put on me.
Yeah.
I guess I just wasn't recognizing it during the time. I was just following the news and seeing what was happening, and and then when it was said and done and the decision was made, it was kind of like, okay, we can get started now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we can move forward. All I'm gonna say, I just gotta add my little 2 cent here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out there on Twitter, and your boys Isner and Opelka are out there still defending him, doing the most, defending this man like it's their daddy. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? Really? Is this what the Americans are doing right now? I mean, first of all, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, y'all need to be putting y'all energy towards y'all first round matches because y'all could be joining him in about 24 hours.
Exactly.
Uh, if you don't get your mind right. And if you want to try to exalt somebody like that, why don't you try to exalt somebody like Andy Roddick in your own country, who I saw this weekend was out there trying to get people to vote for the voters' rights bill.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So if you got something you feel like you need to get behind, why don't you take lead from your fellow American and get behind something that does something for this country? Because what y'all doing right now, that ain't it.
No, that is not it at all.
That is not it. So anyway,
Not
that's
it.
just my little commentary. Just want to put that out real quick.
Well, I am very happy that you did. I'm happy you shared that because you're exactly right. I mean, there's a lot going on, and putting yourself behind that one. No, that's just not the way to go. Notice I am not putting his name in my mouth. Anyway,
Right. Yes.
all
So
right.
on to the Australian Open.
So let's move forward. And because all of this drama has been happening on the men's side of the house, I
Mhm.
kind of feel like I want to go first with them so we can finish up with the ladies and be really excited and happy.
Okay.
So
I'm
let's
completely fine with that.
yeah, let's jump on these guys, man. So typically, Bryce, we talk about the first rounders, our popcorn matches, as we call
Yes.
them. Kind of, what are you seeing as far as matches that you think are gonna bring folks to the yard, if you will?
Well, shout out to Khalees. But okay, I guess we can alternate here. So the first one that I had on my list was my guy who became a recent addition to my varsity team at the end of last year, Mr. Cam Norrie
Yes.
against American upstart Sebastian Corda.
That's
Now,
gonna be a fire match, bro.
it is, and although I fully expect Norrie to win that match, I don't think it's going to be easy.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. If I'm being honest with you, bro, I'm actually giving Corda a little bit of an edge. I don't know why.
Come on, Team Varsity, Team Bryce, get it done.
Like I said, honestly, I like both of the guys, so I wouldn't necessarily be mad at either of them winning. But for whatever reason, even though he didn't win the next gen, I just feel like he put in some time on the off season. I feel like he might be rounding into form, and he might be just ready for a good old upset. But we will see. I hope Cam is on his game, and I hope he's ready, because that, like you said, is not an easy first round match.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Who do you have next?
What's interesting for me is and these may not be too well-known players to many, more so from those who really know tennis. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing that Quarantine Moutet versus Luca Pouille, the two Frenchmen.
Yeah, I thought about that one. I
I
did.
I really am looking forward to that, because Luca Pouille, of course, to me was on a great trajectory, and I felt like I always paired him up with like a Dominic Thiem. I always felt like I always pair up people, and I put those two in the same category. And I feel like Thiem kind of took off, and he got into the top three and could won him a Grand Slam, whereas Luca
Right.
has kind of fallen off. I think he had an injury, so I'm
Hmm.
really interested to see how he's going to rebound for 2022. And Quarantine Motet is just crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's our music guy, and he's the
Yeah.
rapper, and
Yeah.
I just kind of like him because of his flair and his craziness. So for whatever reason, that is an interesting first match to me.
Do you know that caught my eye as well? So I totally get where you're coming from. Um, I had a match that I thought could be interesting. It could be, it's one of those kinds of matches that can either be a blowout,
Mm.
a tight match, or an upset.
Yes.
And believe it or not, I wrote down Brandon Nakashima and Beretini.
Yeah. Yes.
Because
Yes.
can I just say something about Beretini? I like Beretini like everybody else. He seems like a cool cat. He's got a very offensive game.
Mhm.
But I get concerned for him anytime he plays someone who has a strong backhand.
Right. Right.
Anybody that can potentially force him into a backhand battle, it could be tricky for him. And Nakashima has a very nice backhand.
Very nice.
And
Yes, to say the
so,
least.
right. So I'm just going to kind of throw that one out there a little bit.
Yep, I wrote that one down as well, my brother. And I agree with you. I think that could potentially be an upset. I think some of these young upstarts in that next gen, they've got some opportunities. I really
Hmm.
think they could show out and do something. So I agree with you. I had that one written down. Another quick one, which actually this was, I believe, one of your JV folks that got kind of kicked off, but I wrote it down anyway, and that was Fuchsovich versus Lajovic. I actually think that one could be an interesting first round matchup.
You know, personally for me, that caught my attention, but I said, I won't bring it up on Brothers on Tennis because everybody be like, we don't care about those two.
I like those two. So
But,
no, I'm
but
gonna bring
yes,
them up because I like those two. I think they're the B squad or maybe even the C squad, but still.
squad right now. Uh, but yeah, Larovic, I'd like to see him back on the JV squad if possible. But a win over Fushkovich would be a nice start
That
to that.
would be definitely a good start for the year, for sure. Sorry about that.
All right. For what might be the first round match on the
Hmm.
men's side for me, Andy Murray and Basilashvili.
Yeah, hands. Gotta
Hands.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ding, ding, knock him out. Yeah, I mean, that could go either way. I mean, you got somebody in Basilashvili who, if he's on, can hit you off the court.
Correct.
You know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then you have maybe one of the greatest defenders and tacticians to have ever played the game in Andy Murray.
Right. Yep.
So, I and Murray is clearly playing well, considering he just made it to the finals of a tournament where our boy Karatsev had to show him what time it was.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Andy Murray is playing well, and I'm excited for both of these guys.
I absolutely agree. I think that that will be a great, great first round match. I actually see Andy Murray making it through that one just because, again, he's trying to find that game again. And I think he's pretty inspired to get back at least into the top 20, if not try and scratch up on the top 10, if at all possible. So I have him kind of coming through on that one, but it's going to be it will be a battle. It will be a battle.
Yes.
The other one that I had were actually some of the young guys. I had Musetti versus the Demon, Alex Diminar. I think that could be a pretty entertaining first round matchup. Musetti kind of has fallen off of late,
Right.
but I'm hoping that the offseason gave him an opportunity to really find his game again. And, the Demon, Alex Diminar, is just always a tough out. He's a tough young guy. Plays great defense, can be offensive at times. I'm very interested to see who's going to come out on top on that one.
Yeah, I felt a lot of what you were saying. I mean, that one did catch my eye initially, but like you said, Musetti has kind of been a little bit on a downward spiral lately,
Yeah.
and so hasn't been on top of his game. And then I think DeMignor has been actually playing pretty well lately, and I just looked at it as it's on hard court. It's in Australia. DeMignor plays well in front of the home crowd.
Right.
It just leans towards DeMignor uh, in this particular match. Now, if this was on clay at the French or something else, I maybe would give Musetti a little more of a chance, but I think he's going to take Musetti to the woodshed. Actually, yeah.
Gotcha.
Now I have an interesting. Okay, just in general, and you guys will pick up on this general theme for me this year at the Australian Open. For some reason, you know what? I'm not feeling it with Tsitsipas this year, and that's starting with me even in the first round, because if you are not on the top of your game, Marvin the Martian is not who you want to face in the first round. And of course, I'm talking about Mikael Ymer.
Right.
I mean, this dude lives for five setters and majors.
Yes.
And, maybe on paper it would look like, oh, yeah, Tsitsipas should roll in this match. I'm thinking this is going to be a battle in the first round. And like I said, Ymer, I don't know what his record is in like these 5-set matches and majors, but he ain't nobody to play with.
No. And he's super fit. I mean, he is super, super fit. That is definitely not somebody you want to take on in the first round, especially with Tsitsipas not still, in my opinion, not being completely, 100% healthy. He's still,
Right.
of course, kind of, there's some sensitivity still there. So I tell you what, bro, I agree with you. I think that one is ripe for an upset. I really, really do. Yeah, that could be good. I'm looking forward to that match. I wrote that one down. The next one I wrote down, actually, and this, you may not have heard of this cat, but he's actually been playing some really good tennis. He played good tennis last year, and that's Rusevori. He's up against Felix Auger-Aliassime, and I feel like that is not going to be an easy out for Felix. And I feel like Felix is playing some good tennis right now. Of course, he's coming off the ATP Cup win with Dennis and the Canadian team. So he's probably, riding a good high. But that Rusevori match is not going to be easy. And I have a feeling it will go 4, maybe even 5.
I agree. But for what I need to happen in my draw, I need for FAA to come in there and take care of business and let Rusevori go play alphabet soup someplace else.
I know, right?
So yes, but no, I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it should be a fun.
It should be. It really should be. And I'm going to throw two matches here because I kind of put them together.
Okay.
I call them the battles of the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Right. And on one side we have Opalka versus Kevin Anderson.
Yeah.
Which is, look, when it gets past the serve, I don't know. I may give Kevin Anderson the edge when it comes to being off the ground.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one is Cressy and Isner.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
Cressy with that, that forward press game to the net, and can match Isner for the serve. I don't know. I think both of those matches could go either way.
I agree with you. I think that they are toss ups. Typically, you give, Riley and John a lot of, you know, extra because they're so tall. But hell, Kevin Anderson and Cressy, I think, are both above 6'7", if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, them some big boys. So that's a big match. Both of
Yeah.
those are big matches. So I'm like you. I think it's a coin flip. I would not. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Anderson came through over Opelka because again, his ground strokes are better in my opinion than Riley's.
Hmm.
And again, with Cressy, he's got that again, he's pushing, he's forcing, and I think that may make John a bit uncomfortable. And I think I see a lot of tiebreakers in that one, and I think Cressy might end up getting him in those tiebreakers.
I will be here for
Yes, I will. Me too.
it. Enough said.
Enough said, man.
Well, I
Yeah.
that's all I had for my first round highlights.
I had one more. Actually, I don't know why I had two more, and I don't know why I'm all about the Frenchman. But that
Okay.
Hugo Humbert versus
Hmm.
Gasquet is pretty
Yep.
interesting to me. And I also wrote down the Van de Zandschulp versus Struff. I think Van de
Yes.
Zandschulp might potentially bring something to Struff that he ain't quite ready for, because I think he's trying to scratch his way into a top 30, top 20 position. So Struff better watch out. He better have his game on. And quietly, I just need to mention this because we met him. He's such a nice guy. That Giron versus Nadal match.
Oh, my,
Giron, we love you.
we love you, Jerome, but you know what? It's just the natural order of things, and you know, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Marcos, we're very sorry. We do support you though. We
Yes,
got your back,
we hope
but that
you
one
are.
is tight.
Yes, we hope you are in doubles and mixed doubles.
Which
So you can extend your stay, but
there you go.
it's
There
gonna
you
be
go.
tight on you. Uh, all right. So we've both had an opportunity to look at the
Yes.
draw, and
Yes.
people, I will remind you before we go through this exercise, Isaac and I have not shared
No.
uh, who we have picked. Although I think I got a little spicy on my picks this year,
Oh, all
so
right. All right for the spicy.
we will we will see if how similar or how different we are. But
Okay.
let's take the top half of the draw, Isaac, and so we can start with the round of 16. And as we know, because someone got out of the draw last night, uh,
Hmm.
that very top section has really opened up. And I'm very happy for who it may have opened up for.
I
Uh,
100% agree because it's one of our boys and I love this guy. Love him.
okay. So you want to go down and say what our round of 16 matchups are?
Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it that way.
Okay. So if I were to go, I would say for me, starting from the top, going to the bottom, this is just the top half again.
Yep.
I I see Monfils versus Tommy Paul.
Hmm.
I see Alcaraz, which means there is a Beretini upset
Mm.
uh, over Nori, or against Nori, I should say. Let me not show my hand. I have Zverev against Shapovalov,
Hmm.
and I have Nadal versus Karatsev.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So, and this might get me booted off of the Karatsev train, but Karatsev, I love you. So I also had the Tommy Paul Monfils,
Okay, all right.
and I also had the Zverev versus Shapo. Now,
Okay, so we're the same there. Okay.
yes. So where we differ, I mean, and completely, and this, like I said, this may be me getting spicy as well. I actually had PCB
Okay.
versus Berettini.
Oh, okay. All right.
Uh huh. Uh huh. So I went ahead and just kind of went with that. I don't know why. I
Okay.
just felt that would be I know that dungeon boy, as Linnell calls him, he's ready and he's ripe. He won the next gen championship. For whatever reason, I haven't seen anything quite yet, so I'm just not quite sure.
Okay, okay, I
And
get it.
so
It's early. It's
I'm
early.
gonna hold off on Alcaraz and let him prove himself just a little bit more. But I do, of course, like him and I like his game. But so that's what I have for that one. And the only other difference is I do have Nadal, but I actually have him playing Hurkacz. I just think Hubie's game is really, really coming around. And I think him making the championships, how he finished 2021, I think he's feeling pretty good about his game. And I feel like if he were to go against a Karatsev, I actually am going to give him a slight edge, if I'm being honest with you. Plus, Karatsev is going to be playing with a lot of points to defend now. So his mindset is going to be a lot different, in my opinion, than last year. And I feel like that little bit is probably going to get Hubie over the finish line.
And Hubie was the person that was my concern for Karatsev. And so the reason why I picked Karatsev is because I do think that this will be a place of good memories for Karatsev.
Yep.
The other thing is, I think Hubie got up on Karatsev a couple of times last year. And so I think Karatsev's going to be extremely motivated because of that. And then here's the other thing. Now, this is a very interesting perspective to potentially have. I don't know how much pressure Karatsev is going to actually have on him based upon his Australian Open numbers from last year, because I read in an article last night that they said based upon how well he did for the rest of the year and him just winning this tournament last week, if Karatsev loses in the first round, he will still be in the top 30.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you're able to go into the tournament knowing if I lose in the first round, I'm still in the top 30.
Right. That's pretty solid. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that that's what his coach is putting in his mind. Like, let's still go in here, lose. You have such a strong year overall that you have not put yourself in a situation that you were so dependent on these points here at the Australian Open. So that's good. That's good. Okay, so interesting. So then who do you have in the making it from the round of 16 into the quarterfinals?
Well,
or do you want to go down to the bottom?
Yeah, let's go down to the bottom. Let's finish up the round of 16, and then we'll loop back around into our quarters. For me, and we were talking about Andy Murray. I actually have Andy Murray making it to the round of 16 against Casper Ruud. So I have that as my round of 16.
Okay.
The next one I have is RBA, just simply because he plays so well at the beginning of the year, and he still has been doing some good things, even though he lost Canada. I have him playing Tsitsipas. I know that there was that upset potential, but I think Tsitsipas is going to make it through. I think he will find a way to get through that particular matchup in the first round against Emer, and he'll make it to RBA. I have Rublev against FAA.
Okay.
And then I have Diego Schwartzman against Medvedev. Who you got there, sir?
Okay, so I match you on the bottom too, so I'll start from the bottom.
Okay.
I have Medvedev against Schwartzman, and I have FAA against Rublev.
Gotcha.
I actually have Tiapo upsetting Fritz and meeting Dimitrov.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I don't think, like what I just said about Tsitsipas, if he makes it out of the first round, I would give Dimitrov the edge over him if they were to meet.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but I have Tiapo and Dimitrov, and then I actually have Ruud against Sinner.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So,
That makes sense. I think I was being more emotional with my pick with Andy Murray, and I still call Sinner Salty Sinner.
Right.
I think that is definitely a good pick on your part for sure.
So, okay. So, what's the quarterfinals looking like?
Okay. You want me to start up top?
Sure. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, sure. So up top, I actually have well, again, with the changes, I have Monfils against Mateo, and I've
Okay.
got Zverev against Nadal.
Okay. I have Monfils versus Dungeon Boy,
Nice.
and I have Alcaraz. Yo, people, yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is. And I have Zverev against Nadal.
Nice. Okay, so
So
we
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 only have one.
always
That's
got one.
right. I always got one. And then for the bottom,
Yeah, who you got?
I have Center versus Tiapo. Gotta have it.
Ah,
Gotta have it.
nice. Gotta have
Gotta
it
have that
again,
matchup.
huh?
And then I have FAA against Medvedev.
So you and I are definitely we've got that one that's holding true. I've got FAA versus Medvedev as well.
Right.
I've got on the other one, I've got Casper Ruud versus RBA.
Oh, okay.
But I
Okay.
would love people. Let me just be clear. I would love to see Tiafo versus Sinner round whatever because I
Yeah,
need Tiafo to put them hangs on him.
exactly. Exactly. Okay. So semifinals?
Yeah, bro. So for me, and I call me dumb, y'all, but I'm riding the Monfils train. I think it's going to be Monfils versus Zverev. I think Zverev is going to take out Nadal in the quarters.
Wow. Okay.
I do. I do. And my
I
bottom half would
oh,
be
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
No,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. And
Yeah.
my bottom half would be again riding the train. I just feel like RBA always starts the year off very strong, so I'm calling RBA versus Medvedev.
Okay. This is where y'all gonna be like, okay, we're gonna take Bryce off the mic because we don't know what he's smoking.
Oh no!
So I actually have up top, I have Alcaraz against Nadal.
Wow.
I have Alcaraz taking out Monfils.
Okay.
And I look, let me tell you what, do not underestimate the motivation that Nadal has right now with Djokovic not being here.
I agree. I agree.
And I think he is going to step it up on Zverev, and I think we get to see Nadal versus his Dungeon Boy, and
Wow.
I am all kinds of here for that. On the bottom, like you, I have Medvedev, but I also have making his first Grand Slam semifinal, Francis Tiapo.
Nice, nice. Hey, bro, I cannot be mad at you for those picks. I can't be.
I have.
Um,
And I think Tiapo has good motivation against Salty Center
yes.
in the quarterfinals, and he's gonna get that thing done, and he's gonna send Center back to the slopes, and
All
it'll be
right.
all she wrote.
There
So
you
okay,
go.
so then who do you have making the finals?
So I have basically a rematch of the championships of last year. I have Zverev versus Medvedev. Who do you got?
I have Medvedev versus Nadal.
Nice, nice. All right. Who's your winner?
Look, my winner says, you know what? You can be all kinds of motivated about Djokovic not being here, but guess who is here? Guess who's here? Okay, so obviously I'm picking Medvedev over Nadal.
Oh, dude, I love that. Love that. You are probably gonna reach through the phone and shake me,
Oh, are you
but
serious?
I am, man, and it's not, and y'all, it's not because I'm a fan, because I'm not. But I just feel like because Zverev was able to come through at the year-end championships last season, I think he is going to match up against Medvedev, and he is actually going to come through. So I have Zverev over Medvedev taking the Australian Open.
Oh wow! Now I want
Yeah.
to add one thing about Medvedev. I know we've got him deep and everything. I want to be clear to the listeners. Medvedev does not have an easy draw.
No, not
I
at
mean,
all.
he potentially has Kyrgios in the second round. He has
Mhm.
Humbert in his section. I mean, yeah, he'll probably skirt past Schwartzman, but then potentially FAA. You know,
Right.
he gets maybe a double dose of brothers. You know, FAA and then
Yeah.
Tiapo. So
Right.
although I'm picking Medvedev to win, he it ain't a cakewalk.
Yeah, he's gonna have
Yeah.
to work for it. Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to work for it.
Right. So okay, so that's good. So we have a lot of similarities, but we have some key differences. So this will be interesting to track.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. Mid fortnight will be fun.
All right. And FYI, something that I just read this morning, just because somebody I think had to withdraw something last night.
Mm.
I hear that if Medvedev or Zverev wins the title, there's a new number one.
Oh wow. Well, there
There's
you
a
go.
there's a new number one. So actually, I kind of like your finals
Mm-hmm.
because if that ends up being the finals, we're guaranteed a new number one.
Yes. And given all of the drama that we have been through, we need a new number one.
Thank
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, it is what it is. We
Is
didn't
what it
do it.
is. Yeah,
We
that's
didn't do
true.
it.
Everybody got choices.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you, because that's what Nadal said. Nadal
Yes.
said everybody can make their own choice, but choices have consequences.
Thank you.
You know what? Somebody out there didn't hear me.
Let's say it
Choices
again.
have consequences.
Thank you.
All right, now we're gonna keep it moving. On to the women.
Yes. Yes.
So
Loving it.
talk about wait a minute, and before we get to the women, just FYI, just a little plug. Brothers on Tennis Australian Open playlist out there for you. It's
Yes.
available on Apple, Spotify, and Tidal streaming services. You know, for y'all being economical, Spotify is free. And you have to go to Instagram, and I'm going to put it on Twitter today, and you have to read the connections we make with each one of those songs to the tennis narratives. You're going to love it. I promise you. And we're also putting up stories about every other day on Instagram, just accentuating those narratives to these songs. So, we always got to give you something to bump to on these major tournaments. Don't miss out. Get out there, check it out, get your bump on. Somebody has already said this playlist is a vibe. So
Nice.
get out there and do it, y'all.
That's right. Get out there and do it, folks. Come on now.
So for our first round favorites for the women, Isaac, do you want to go first and give your first one?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we know this young lady. She's a friend of the podcast, or at least we interviewed her at the Garden last year in New York. I am looking forward to the Krejcikova Petkovic first round
Ah,
matchup because we love Petko. She is
we
one of our favorites,
we
and
we love Petco for sure, Isaac.
that's a tough one, of course, because Krejcikova is in wonderful form.
Let me
Um,
no, jeez. Yeah. I like Petkovic, and I wish I could sit down and have tea with her or something. But you know what? Krajcikova is gonna put that forehand all upside her head, and she gonna be dizzy by the time that match is over. I'm trying to tell you, it ain't gonna be nothing nice. Don't go make no popcorn. The match will be done by the time that is done. I'm just trying to tell y'all, it's Krajcikova is not gonna be playing around with Petkovic.
Yeah, because she is in really, really good form. Because if you saw her at the ladies' championships at the end of last season versus the match or the tournament she just played, it's
Yeah,
like night and day. She is definitely inspired, playing some incredible tennis. I mean, that finals against her and Badosa was bonkers.
Yeah,
So
you right?
Krejcikova game is right. So she gonna put them things on her. But I just thought I'd flag it just because I love Petco.
Right. It's an interesting matchup.
Yes. How about you, bro?
Well, and for me, my very first one I'm putting out here because I think we're supposed to be interested in it. And that no, I'm just I'm just saying is the Battle of the American Caves. We got Sophia Kennan, who
Yes.
she's back from her experiment and she's back with Daddy,
Yep.
and she did her vitamin run,
Just
and so
get her
now she's
vitamin
back.
run.
Now she's back. All right. And we got Madison Keys out here who just lifted a trophy.
Yes.
Which may get her a little excited, but I don't know that it'll mean much. So we have Kennan and Keys. It'll be. I mean,
Yes.
what do you think is going to happen in that match?
Bruh, I mean, when I look at my projections, it really doesn't matter. But
Right.
I don't mean to be mean, but I'm just being truthful. But I of course want to see Madison come through because I feel like I'm hoping that this will be the year that she rebounds, that she gets her mental right, and that everything is it's ready to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so that's my hope is that Kennan will come through. I mean, I'm sorry, Keys will come through. But honestly, if Kennan comes through, then that's cool too. But again, I don't see either of them going too far in the draw though.
Right. I agree with you. Who'd you have next?
Okay, so here's I just we were just of course talking about Krejcikova. That Badosa Tomjanovic, come on now. Because Tomjanovic has had a good 2021, and I think her and Badosa that will be a good battle. But Badosa is playing some top level tennis. B.
Yeah.
She's playing some tennis right now.
Yeah. We like Tomljanovic too, but I hope she is signed up for doubles and mixed.
Yeah,
but at least she's at home. But at least she's at home, so she ain't got to really go nowhere, and she'll probably be able to watch Beretini for a couple rounds.
Well,
But
exactly.
Badosa, that is not the one you want to be matched up against right now.
Not right now, because she is definitely the hot girl. I mean, her game is fire.
No, you do not.
No.
The next one for me is interesting because I think, Isaac, this is your thing, the big babe tennis, right? Kanju and Rogers.
Yes.
I think that could be a very big hitting affair. I would expect for Rogers to come through with overall game, but Kanju can hit that ball.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Kanju. I think she is because she was out on the tour, got injured, was out for a while, and came back. I love how she hits the ball, man. I love her game. I just like her. I'm actually a fan of hers. So yeah, I agree with you. And quietly, Shelby went to the off season was like, let me get a little tight. Let me get my shape right. I was like, all right, Shelby, go on, girl, go ahead.
Right.
Out there looking thin and sleek. I was like, all right, so Shelby's feeling fit. So that will be a very, very interesting matchup. And honestly, I have no idea who I would call on that one. I think that one to me is pop.
Nice. Okay.
Because I don't know who would. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna pull that one out.
Okay.
Yeah. So and of course, who we got next? We were talking about the K's. This isn't American, but it is it's U.S. Open versus U.S. Open, and that is Sloan versus Radhikanu. And it will be very interesting to see where both of these ladies are because quietly last week, Radhikanu was like, "Ain't nobody scared of you." Said, "You look hungry. Let me give you this bagel and this bread, and you go on about your business." So it will be interesting to see how she rebounds. And of course, our girl Sloan, she, I's married now. She's doing the single ladies thing. Somebody put a ring on it. Josie.
Guess they liked it.
Right? Somebody liked it.
So, I just feel that Sloan is going to absolutely get up on Radhikanu. This is the kind of match she gets up for. Radhikanu, I think she's still trying. She's a little bit on roller skates right now. She's still trying to, find her way.
Right.
And like you said, Sloan is married now, and she's. I think she may, just like we've seen Monfils kind of settle in a little bit more now that he's gotten married. You may start to see the same thing from Sloan, and yeah, I had this definitely written down because this is a marquee match for sure. But
Yes.
I'm thinking Stevens is going to take this one.
I 100% agree with you. I just, because of what you said, I'm right there with you, brother.
All right. My next one is, I don't know, we got these Battle of the Caves, right?
Right.
Got Angelique Kerber, who you can never, count out in these major tournaments because she just knows how to get it done. I always say she's an opportunist. She's a mean opportunist, but she's an opportunist nonetheless. And she's playing against Kaya Kanepi, who just makes a living of breaking people's hearts at majors.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So you never know which way that one's going to go.
Completely agree with you. I always love Kaya Kanepi because she's always good for an upset, man. So yeah, Angelique better be on her game. Otherwise, she might be joining a bunch of others on the sideline talking about what happened.
Let me find me a mixed doubles partner.
Exactly. That mixed draws open. Yeah, man. So, I mean, I didn't really have any other blockbuster others. I mean, I wrote down folks like Goff and Wang Xiang. I think that could be interesting, although Coco will get through that, of course. Kontaveit versus Siniakova could be interesting. Okay. But I fully expect Kontaveit to put them things on her and send her back to the doubles.
Yeah. Be like, tell your partner I see her in singles.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody else, bro?
Well, of course, trying to support the peeps, shout out to Haley Baptiste for qualifying for the main draw. And so she's going against your girl, Caroline Garcia.
That's right. I saw that one.
So I am very interested to watch that match. And of course, definitely pulling for Baptiste to make it to the second round.
Absolutely. We want Haley to do very well, for sure.
So, well, now that we've kind of covered our first round favorites, let's do the same thing as we did with the men. Let's move over to the round of 16 and take a look at who we've picked. So, Isaac, you like to go first up top?
Oh, sure. Okay. So who I've got, of course, round of 16, and I think everybody has been kind of talking about this one, and it will definitely be the popcorn match of the round of 16 if both of the ladies make it. And that, of course, is Barty versus Osaka.
Absolutely.
That's come on. Anyway, so the next one I have is I actually have Jessie Pegula versus Sakari. Yep. I'm calling Pegula versus Sakari. The next one I have, of course, is Krejcikova because she's on fire against Azarenka. And then I have Goff versus Badosa.
Wow. We very close. Very close.
Okay.
I have Osaka versus Barty. Here's our difference. I have Jabeur versus Sakari. And let me just tell you why. Because I thought about that Jabeur-Pegula matchup. And I haven't really seen Pegula since she's gotten married. And so I'm not sure what kind of form she's in. I know Jabeur was kind of coming back from an injury as well.
Right.
So they're both question marks to me. And so I just picked Jabeur.
Yep. Yeah. And that was honestly, the injury was the reason why I picked Pegula, is because I knew that Jabeur is, I think she actually retired from the match she played last week or something like that.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure fully what the injury was.
Right. Me either. Yeah.
So But you know what? It don't matter between none of them. And
Right.
so, so I had Jabeur versus Sakura, but
Right.
I matched up with you again with Krachikova versus Azarenka, and
Nice.
of course Badosa versus Golf.
Nice. Nice.
So for the bottom, I had Kontaveit versus Rybakina.
Mm-hmm.
I had Muguruza versus now, and I kind of cheated. I had cheated on this one. I was like Halep slash Stevens. Um,
Mm.
I just I'm 50-50 on which one of those is going to come through. Um, so yeah, just call me indecisive on that. So Muguruza versus Halep slash Stevens.
Okay.
Um, and then I have Avdichenkova versus Swiatek. And then I have Fernandez. And once again, I chickened out. I said versus Sabalenka or Vandrousova, and I'm definitely leaning towards Vandrousova.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. We very, very, very close. In fact, the first kind of five are similar, and that's the Kontaveit versus Rybakina. That's who
Mhm.
I've got. I've actually got Muguruza versus Halep. So I feel like Halep, even though Sloan's gonna be back, I
Mhm.
think Sloan, yeah, I think Sloan is she'll still be kind of getting herself right. So to me, if she makes it to Halep, which I fully expect her to, if she loses to Halep, I don't see that as being an issue because, like I said, she just
Right,
got married. So
right,
I
right.
have Halep versus Muguruza. I actually have Iga versus Petra Kvitova.
Oh, really?
I do. I do. I don't know. Maybe it's sentimental, but
Mhm.
I love Kvitova. So I'm gonna pair those two together, and then like you, I've got Layla. But who I actually went with, and it's just hard for me because that's my girl. But them serve woes, woo, her game just does not look tight right now.
It
Sabalenka
doesn't.
is looking very her mental ain't right, that serve ain't right. There's so many things to me that are just not right, and I don't know that she can get them fixed that quickly to be able to rebound and play against these ladies. So who I actually picked was Samsonova.
Oh, really? Okay.
I
Uh,
did because
Look at you
she's
with
been
the
playing
dark
some good
horse.
tennis. Yeah, she's been playing some good tennis. And so I'm gonna stick with her for that round of 16. I think she's gonna slide up in there.
Okay. All right. So start us off with the quarterfinals.
All right. So up top, I've got Barty versus Sakari,
Okay.
and I've got Krejcikova. I'm calling Krejcikova versus Golf.
Okay.
As much as I love Badosa and I know she is on fire, I feel like Coco is going to round into form because I feel like she played extremely well, as did Madison Keys. So I'm not mad at Coco for going down to Madison because Madison, to me, was playing the type of ball that Madison should be playing that would get her into the top 10, in my opinion.
Right. Um.
How about you, bro?
Well, I have.
Uh-oh.
I have Osaka
Oh,
um, against Sakura,
okay.
and I have Krachikova against Badosa.
Okay.
And I pick Osaka over Barty because I think it is going to favor Osaka to be the underdog in
Hmm.
this matchup. I think it's going to take a little pressure off, but she also knows in the back of her head she done won this thing twice.
Right.
And Barty, she's got the whole like pressure in front of the home crowd thing. So I feel like Osaka is going. I think potentially, and I know I'm saying a lot, but I think potentially that matchup against Barty could be the best tennis we've seen from Osaka in a long time.
Well, I
I
tell
think
you what, it's gonna have to be because
I think
Barty to me is playing some great tennis.
she is. The thing I like about Osaka though, she does have the ability to take the racket out your hand, and like I said, she's got two of these.
Right.
Um, The Sakari thing, I'm giving Sakari the edge just because Jabeur, the injury piece.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because otherwise, I think I would have given the edge to Jabeur, but I'm expecting that to be Sakari.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're on the same page with Krejcikova. Uh, I'm definitely going with Badosa over Golf because I think Badosa is going to absolutely wear out that Coco Golf forehand.
Gotcha.
And I think when they're hitting off the ground, that's going to be a problem for Coco against Badosa.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like she'll be able to control it, but hopefully we get to see that matchup because that to me will be fire.
Mm-hmm. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So for the bottom, I'll start the bottom off. I have Contivate taking out Rybakina.
Mm-hmm.
I had Muguruza coming through, whether it was Halep or Stevens.
Okay.
I have Pavlyuchenkova taking out Swiatek.
Okay.
And I have Fernandez taking out either Sabalenka or Bondrasova.
Gotcha. That now, see, this is interesting. We have one that is similar.
Uh-oh.
That's so interesting because typically we are spot on,
Right.
but that speaks to the ladies' draw, and it speaks to again all of the different potential that's out there for the ladies here. I actually think that Rybakina is going to take out Kontaveit. And the reason I have that is because I feel like Rybakina is playing some top level tennis right now. And I feel like she's pretty inspired. So hopefully she's getting back to that 2020 period where she was really just kind of stepping on the stage and was, just doing a thing. And we were like, who is this girl? I feel like she's going to step up and have a major upset. So I feel like she's going to take out Kontaveit. I actually think that Halep is going to take out Muguruza.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I have Rybakina versus Halep, and I actually do see Iga making it through to the quarters playing Layla.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. So semifinals?
Okay, here's where it's a stretch. I am calling Barty against Golf.
Okay.
I know, right? And Rybakina against Iga.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at your picks. I'm just laughing at the fact that we have 4 completely different semifinals.
Which is, folks, this is not normal because Bryce and I are typically always picking the same people. So actually, I feel like this is a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a great thing because one of us got to be right.
You would hope. Unless it's another Radhikanu situation.
Yeah, and we know it wouldn't be Radhikanu. So I have Osaka versus Badosa and Kontaveit versus Pavlyuchenkova.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a first for us to have 4 different semifinalists all together. That's awesome, though.
Right.
Cool. Okay. So
then,
who on your draw is making it to the final?
In the finals, I have a final of Badosa versus Kontaveit.
Wow. Okay. I have Barty versus Rybakina.
And I have winning her first major title, Paula Badosa.
Wow. Okay. I went with the number 1. I feel like Barty is going to get over the hump. I think that her taking out Osaka, if she does, of course, in the round of 16 will be that fire that she needs to be able to get over any nerves or whatever that she might have and be able to claim her country's Grand Slam. I think it's going to be a big start for Ash Barty.
Wow. Okay. And I like Ash Barty, so I would not be mad at that result. Like I told you, I felt like my picks were maybe a little spicy today. But I'm sticking to them. I think I see this momentum swell for Badosa right now. I don't really see any weaknesses in her game. She looks healthy. She's playing well. She's competing well. I mean, it's not just blowing people out. I'm gonna put a few coins behind her name. I'm
I
not
get
gonna,
it.
I'm not gonna put the whole check behind her, but I am gonna definitely put a few coins behind her name, and we'll see what happens there.
I love it. No, bro, I can't be mad at your picks either, man. I think Paula Badosa is on fire. And I would not be surprised if she worked her way through this and got her first Grand Slam title. Would not be surprised. She's definitely playing that type of tennis right now. That is for certain.
That's for sure. So, something that I wanted to do is just take a brief look at the doubles. And when I say brief look, we're not even necessarily looking at the draws. I just wanted to call out for you, Isaac, some matchups that I think are very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, and you may call this cheesy, but I think the number one seeds in both the men's and the women's doubles are huge favorites. I think
Right.
Mektic and Pavic on the men's side, I would expect for them to win. Krejcikova and Siniakova, I expect for them to win on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
But other interesting pairings that we have this year are, Kyrgios is playing with Kokonakis,
Right. Right. I just saw
which
that.
which is of course a very dangerous team.
Right.
It could be a very unfocused team. Um, But I think the biggest problem they're going to have is if they win in the second round, they would have to play Mektic, Pavic, and I think they will just be too disciplined
Yeah.
to get to lose to the double Ks again.
Right. They'll show them how to play doubles.
Right. Um, Happy to see the brother men are still playing together.
Yes.
Nicholas Monroe and Francis Tiapo. So,
Yes.
we hope that they do well and they go far.
They got a tough one though. They playing against Michael Venus and that Poots, the 6th seed. Ooh,
Right.
that's gonna be a tough one.
Bring it, bros.
That's right.
Uh,
Bring it.
Our favorite little broke team to follow, Andujar and Martinez.
Yes.
They just get in there and they just kind of do a few things and win. So I'll be keeping, my lazy eye on them, just to make sure to see how they're progressing in the tournament.
Absolutely, man. I like that doubles team, man. I like those two, so that should be fun.
And then finally on the men's side, I am so excited, and we actually got a little response back from Mies to see Kravitz and Mies back together this year as a doubles team.
Yes.
I told them I was so glad to see them back together, and Mies was happy to see that. So hopefully they can just kind of pick back up where they left off
That's right.
over a year ago, and that's a fun team to watch.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. Love that.
Now, for the women, we have a couple of American women's teams to keep, our eyes on. One is we have Asia Muhammad and Pagula.
Gotta love that,
Yeah,
right?
that could be an interesting team. I mean, I don't really know how they'll do or how far they'll go, but that's a pretty good team.
I like that team a lot, actually.
And then, of course, we have Makoko in there. So,
Yep. Gotta love Makoko.
and I think they're the 8th seed. I can't remember. I don't have them in front of me, but we're always behind them and would love to. They made it to the finals of the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So come on, y'all. Let's try to take it one step further. Like I said, it's going to be a tough call though with Krejcikova and Siniakova out there running things.
That's true.
Look.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. So if they do a little Venus and Serena thing, out there, they could do well.
And I tell you what, they're actually in a really nice part of the draw. I mean, I don't see any big names. The number 7 seed is well, it's Klipak, who we know her and we've interviewed her actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, sweet lady.
That could be interesting. Yeah, very sweet. But at the same time, Radhikanu is not to be played with. That they could actually go pretty far.
They could. That's a lot of firepower
on
one side of the court. So you got the 2.0 version of Maria Sharapova and Daniela Hanchikova on the court. Holla if you hear me. So
right, come on.
Anyway, and then I just want to make this note. I was looking at the draw.
Yeah.
And you got the number 2 seeds, Ayamama and Shabala, whatever. I mean, I still don't know who these chicks are. And I tell you what, if somebody came up to me and they said, you know what, we will give you a dinner out with Roger Federer, Ivan Lendl, and Andre Agassi if you can pick out Ayamama and Sabaha Rahara out of a crowd, I would be like, just go ahead and drive me through the McDonald's drive-through because I'm going to miss that opportunity.
I'm going to miss it.
Miss that opportunity. So,
yeah,
I mean,
bruh, I know. We're going to have to figure out.
They number 2. And I don't know them.
And I don't know
like what
either. I mean,
I don't know her. I don't know them. I mean, help me understand this, Isaac.
I wish I could, Bryce. I honestly wish I could, but I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel like I'm going to have to really, really focus in on them and trying to watch them, even though I don't know that they even put them on TV, because I would have seen them had they put them on TV. So I blame the tennis channel. Y'all need to put Aoyama and Shibahara on more so we know what they look like and we can relate to them, because I don't see them enough.
Yeah, let me hold that comment down. So Isaac, great review of the draws and kind of what we think. We will be back. I don't know if we picked the day yet, but is it next Monday to do our mid-fortnight review, or we can do it next Sunday, or
probably next Sunday, or we'll make it before that, because the Monday's what, the round of 16s or the quarters? I always forget with Australian Open.
Me too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be back at you guys on Sunday. That way we can do it pretty clean, get you prepped and ready as you're watching your little Sunday tennis, and the football will be on and everything will be all popping. So yeah, we'll come back out you then, and we'll do a temperature check on how our predictions are going thus far.
Right. And it just feels good to finally have this tournament going.
Yes.
Now, and I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about with the fallout from what has happened after the Australian Open is over. But as for now, we're going to put our focus here on the people playing and, looking to see what's going to come out of 2022.
That's right, brother. It should be fun, should be interesting. I cannot wait.
Right. So, any last words from you, my friend?
No, man. Just looking forward to it, and we'll be coming back at y'all pretty soon.
Hey, don't forget to check out the playlist out there. Brothers on Tennis 2022 AO playlist. Check it out. There's some cuts out there for you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shut it down. So thank you for listening once again. And on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, enjoy the Australian Open.